Thank you to Meredith and Brandon, who were vulnerable enough to want to share their immigration stories. I know that probably takes a lot of courage to broadcast. Now I want to open this up to be like a Q&A session. If any of you guys have questions for Brandon or Meredith. I have a few questions, but does anyone have any questions? No. Okay. So the first question was, can you share a story or moment when either of you felt othered in your community?
So most of you know I'm Brandon Gomez. I am a Tay Radio host for a radio show called Tay Radio Marin. Basically, our goal is to make a platform where youth can basically, I guess, give their ideas on what they want to hear about. Like, say, if you guys want to hear about news, we'll broadcast that. If you guys want to hear about one of our interests or one of your guys' interests, then you guys just tell us, and then we do a whole show about it. So, yeah. And so, one moment would be, I guess you guys already saw in the video, where I went to a gas station once, and I was waiting in line, and this guy in front of me goes, he speaks to me in Spanish. He says, do you want to go ahead or something? I don't remember quite what he said, but he said in Spanish. I guess he assumed because of the color of my skin and because of the way I was dressed, he, I guess, said, oh, he only speaks Spanish. And so, me, I'm kind of the person where, like, I'll go along with it, or I'll just go like, all right, fine. He spoke to me Spanish, I'll do the same. And the cashier, he spoke to me in English, and so after I responded in English, the guy was like, oh, you speak English and Spanish. I'm like, yeah, I do. I'm so surprised, but yeah, I guess that was one moment where I felt, like it wasn't a good feeling.
With the census around the corner, how is our community feeling? Is there fear? Anything that you guys want to share?
Yeah, so what I've heard so far in the community is that people don't open their doors to anybody, such as the police, ICE, or even people who report for census, because they're afraid that they will be deported. And most of this community is predominantly Latinx and also Vietnamese or from Cambodia, and these people don't have an immigration status here, and they're afraid they live in fear every day because they fear that they will be deported if they do something, if they open the door, of course. But yeah, I think that is why this community does not want to participate, because of the fear they have towards immigration and deporting them back to their country. They're fleeing from violence or from poor countries as well.
Thank you, Meredith. How can we motivate the community to participate in the census?
Well, one way we can motivate the community to participate in the census would be to, I guess, have people, I guess, that can relate to the community, to have them explain, like, oh, we're just getting, like, a tally to see how much the city can fund us for repairs or certain stuff, because most things in Canal, it's like, it takes, say, if you want to get your parking fixed, because some apartments are way too high and the ground is lowered throughout the years. So if you want to get that parking fixed to put up your car, you have to go to the office and put a request, and it takes like probably 2-3 years probably to get it fixed. But in other communities it's not, because they're able to do those repairs because they have the funding. So basically, I guess it would be having people that understand them, so they can explain, oh, we're just here to help you guys. We're not here to pass on your information to immigration or such as such.
How would our community benefit from the census? How would the Canal district specifically benefit?
As Liz mentioned before in her presentation, she has mentioned that accounting for the census provides education, funding for schools, education. They also support the district as well in terms of like infrastructure, I believe. So they also have better access to resources in the community. And
Okay, so, and you also had a few questions that you wanted to ask.
yeah, so I want to like open up a Q&A for everyone. I don't know if everyone's comfortable with this, but so my first question is, does anyone who desires to enter the United States have the right to do so?
Does anyone want to answer that?
Can you repeat the question?
Yeah, so does anyone desire to enter the United States have the right to do so? So I believe anyone who desires to enter the United States has a right to do so because I feel like this entire country is made up of immigrants and we help all each other out. And I think that as an immigrant, I want to help others in the community, so I want to do, like working at MCM has helped me help others, such as other next year, to navigate the system and give them like a leadership role and a voice in this community.
So what do you guys think will make it easier for immigrants to come into the United States?
You might have to point at people randomly. You're saying?
Yeah.
I feel like what would make the system a little bit more flexible for, let's say, people outside of our country to come in would be like a more simplified process, because what I've heard is that the process they have now basically just adds more time onto them not being able to enter our country. So I feel like just trying to find a really organized manner that'll help bring in people outside of our country, but in a way that we could count on them, so we could avoid like doing a census 2020. So we don't have any hardly to count, I believe, I don't know, but like, you know, areas like that, so we really have like a good demographic and understanding of our population.
I also just want to point out that this is in Marin, like this is in the hard to count areas or like the Canal District, Marin City. This isn't just going on in Marin, like it could be happening in your hometown wherever you guys are from. Like this is going on in a lot of low-income communities where predominantly people of color. Also, I want to just reiterate the fact that all of this data that I did show earlier, it all comes from the census. Like people who don't participate in the census, it doesn't give a good estimate of how many people are actually in the area. And that is a huge factor to the distribution of funds for the next decade. So if we want our education system to be improved, and in the other slide I know I shared a data table. I don't know if you guys were able to read it because it's really small. But it showed that even within the same city, like Santa Fe City School District, they don't distribute the funding equally throughout the whole city, the whole district. Like people who are in Santa Fe City High School, in the Santa Fe High School, or the Carolina High School sometimes get less money than people who are in Tam or Redwood. So that creates a huge difference in education, and it's this constant cycle. I don't know if you guys are familiar with this, but if we don't start with a good foundation in the education system, like right now, the Santa Fe High School isn't actually set for the graduates to fulfill the A through G requirements. So like, yes, you can get your high school diploma, but the majority of the people who go to Santa Fe High School are Latinos, and they're first generation too, so they don't know how to apply to college, they don't know how to break that cycle. Then when they get their high school diploma, they realize you have to go to community college because you aren't A through G eligible to apply to higher education. So why is that going on? It all starts with people being able to participate and be active in their community and taking this simple survey can be a huge delving factor into the distribution of funds for the next decade. Just wanted to say that again.
So I'm gonna ask another question, and
Can you speak up a little bit about?
yeah. So the next question is, are there any current events in relation to immigration that has changed your perspective on immigration? Oh, yeah.
I think a lot, and that really has changed my perspective of maybe I'm angrier, was with the whole caravan with Guatemala and Central Americas, and also with the whole ICE detention for kids in cages as well, and as well as just immigrants who have been just in detention, in ICE detention for such a long time now. And like the most unknowing part about it all is that they're still there, even though it's been like almost a year now, and nothing has changed pretty much. So if anything, it just made me even more angrier and upset that like this is happening, you know.
Thank you. Thank you.
Do you guys think immigrants deserve to be hated by our president?
Deserve to be what? Say it again.
Do you think immigrants deserve to be hated by our
Oh,
president?
hated.
Yep.
Absolutely not.
Can you elaborate why?
Kind of what you said in that video. I think it's very important to understand people based on an individual level, not to generalize or stereotype. And I think our current president is labeling and creating fear through that.
Thank you.
So just to close off this session, are there any more questions that you guys may have for Brandon, Meredith, or myself? Yes.
For Meredith, I know you said that you went back to Guatemala and then you came back in 5th grade. Was there any reason why later you came back?
Yeah, so the reason as to why my family or decided to come back is because me and my sisters didn't really like the environment. We were not used to an environment, and we like grew up here, and we were just really comfortable with everybody. We have friends, we have neighbors that we were close with, and like moving to a different environment is just different for us. Like I was 10, I did not want to be there, and I thought we were just staying there for vacation. So yeah, so they brought us back there after, and they like my parents sacrificed to cross the border to come and give us a better life.
Thank you.
And you guys, did you all go to San Juan High, or where did you go to high school?
Yeah, I went to San Rafael High School for freshman year, but after I switched schools, so
To where?
I went to Marin Community School.
Okay.
Yes, and then graduated from Madron High School after that.
And I went to Nevada High School. But my freshman year, I was homeschooled.
And then I went to Carolina High School.
And did you participate, before you were in Presente, did you participate in any after-school programs, or did you have support systems for your academics?
So just to share a little bit about myself, I think I am very lucky because both of my parents are really active in the community. Like my dad is in the board in the city council. My mom was always like the president of the PTA, and she was always on top and like demanding justice. Like there's so much, like all of this is kind of like it hasn't been something new. It's been going on like my whole life. Like I went to Bahia Vista Elementary School, Davidson, Terra Linda High School, and through the years you don't see an actual change. And even though there's so many parents who might be demanding change, and there might be a little change just for a moment, it's gone. and we still see that like right now. What else can I say? And so I grew up in an environment where my parents were very active in the community, and so we would volunteer everywhere. I still host free Saturday art classes at the community center. I've been doing that since middle school. And that's just an opportunity for families and children who don't have like basic after-school programs because they have other expenses to pay, or their parents have to be working 3 or 4 jobs a day to meet month's end. So we take them in on a Saturday and we make projects, and they have a really good time, and I feel like everyone should be able to express themselves through art, and we do that with the community. You guys can share.
Yeah, so as a first generation student, my parents weren't really like, they didn't know how to navigate this education system, so that was really hard for me personally, because I wasn't aware of all these programs, after school programs at all. And my mom and both my parents worked like 2 to 3 jobs every day, and it was so hard for them to like take us to school or even like take us to other programs, after school programs. So I would say that my mom has actually looked into other programs to help us out, and my mom stumbled upon the Presente program, and that's where I started this program, and it helped me shape like what it's like to be a leader, and like it has also opened my eyes to how this system that we live in, how like the system doesn't want people of color to navigate it. And I feel like I was one of them, and it frustrates me so much, and this is why I am like a Presente alumni member, but also the chairman, to also navigate and build bridges across Marin County, and also to help out other students as well, to give them the navigation through the system. And this was one of our projects as well, to help and educate the community about it. So.
Yeah, so pretty much growing up, I was, like I said, I was a troubled teen, and I guess what really helped out was the Presente program a lot, because at first I'm just like, okay, I'll go to it and I'll check it out, and then after it opened up my eyes and I realized, okay, I gotta get straight, because if I don't, then what example would I be setting as a first generation student here in my family? So after that, I just decided to pretty much do all the work that I'm doing, and that's the whole reason that we created Tay Radio, was so we can give youth a platform where you guys can go and enjoy stuff that you guys enjoy. It's not just always about the president, it's not always about stuff that interests mostly grown-ups. So pretty much. And my mom was a big help to that too. She's always pushing me to do like this program. She hears about a program. So I was like, oh, you should go try it out. Like, I think you'll like it, and if not, then at least you have tried it and you know what you don't like and what you do like. So.
Okay, thank you. Are there any more questions?
Question. Yes. Okay, so we're talking a lot about the census outreach effort, and I'm just wondering, from your individual perspective, what are some of the things that you could think of, just knowing your family and friends and just neighbors? What are things that would, if you want to call people together, or if you want to call people up to come to an event or something, what would drive them to say, okay, this is something that I want to go to, and what are things that people would say, I definitely don't want to go to?
I can start off. I think that many people in our communities might have perceived fear from an experience, a previous experience, and it's important to educate them, but then also empower them to understand that even though they may not have legal status in the country, filling out the census will not harm them. It will actually help them to fix all the systemic problems that are going on. So maybe being able to do some educational workshops or something for the community and for the community members to actually be willing to go would be very beneficial.
So, I think we could give them incentives such as like giving them a $25 gift card or like give them prizes, because these people are taking out of their time working at 2 to 3 jobs. And they have other responsibilities such as taking care of their children. So I think giving them like incentives to come and so would help benefit them in the end as well. And so far at MCM, we have created this community forums where we invite everyone from the Canal to come and listen to the issues in Canal and also learn about the health. If anybody needs like resources, we provide them to the community forum. So that's one thing that we can bring to them is the census at this community forum to educate them on that.
Yeah, so holding like a community event would be best for the census. I guess people always like going to events around the canal, like I guess Day of the Dead. People also like going, I think once a year. They hold an event at Via Vista Elementary, and it's a big event for the whole family to come. And I guess if we had more of those, people would, I guess, be willing to participate in the census because they're gonna be like, okay, it's an event. They're not gonna, like, ICE is not gonna go and interrupt us while we're having fun. So.
Fun events.
Any more questions? Okay, thank you everyone for coming, and thank you Meredith